Hello and welcome to my tongue split Q&A. We are talking about, of course, the extreme body modification of splitting your tongue in half. Personal opinion, fabulous. But let's just get straight into it. So on my Facebook and my Instagram, I asked the question of if you have any questions regarding a tongue split, hit me with them. And I got a couple. So my first one was, do you ever have dreams that you are a snake or lizard? No, motherfucker. I am a dragon in my dreams. The second is, it looks like 2 strawberries. Does it taste like 2 strawberries? Oh my. Continuing. Is there a reason tongue splits look like hoo-haws? Can you smell with your tongue? On to a more serious question. Could it affect career options? Do people notice it very often? Personally, I work a corporate job. My store has 150 locations nationwide. It is very serious, no silly business type of business, and my boss took more than 6 months to realize that I could do this. I think that's wonderful. So no, some people do not recognize it at all until you show it to them. Some people actually watch your mouth while you're talking and they recognize it instantly. I have been talking to customers in my store who have straight up point blank 30 seconds or less after I began to talk to them. What's wrong with your tongue? I think it's hilarious. My boss took 6 or more months. I didn't clock it exactly, but at least 6 months to recognize this. So no. It depends on the person hiring you, whether or not it will affect your career options. Then we have another kind of silly one, but one that I like. Can you hold a straw with your tongue and drink from it? Yes, it's a very fairly common thing, but the thing that I've seen other people do who have split tongues is they can pick up a straw with their tongue and flip it upside down and stick it back in their drink and then start drinking from it. And that is cool. I am not that talented. But it made me really happy when I saw that. Let's see, and then we have, can you draw a heart with your tongue? I don't understand the question, to be honest. That is, like with, like that, or like with a pencil? Elaborate on that, and I will get back to you. Does it affect your taste buds? So this was interesting. Actually, for about a year or maybe a little bit longer after I had the initial procedure done, and it was completely healed up. You know, I worked in a bar, so bartending, you get off work, you have your shift drink. I would experiment a lot, and oftentimes my preferred drink would come with a lemon. And for about a year, maybe more, like I said, after I had the initial procedure done, that lemon straight up tasted like a lemon head candy. Straight lemon juice, straight lemon, it tasted like candy to me. That is the only thing that has been affected, and to be honest, nothing else has changed. A couple of years ago, though, I got the procedure done in 2012. It is now 2019. So maybe 2016, 2014, in somewhere in between there, lemons went back to normal for me. Not permanent. Let's see. And then we have, does it affect your eating habits? Absolutely not. I eat everything normal. I can eat anything that you can. In fact, the only con of having a healed tongue split is I'm eating a potato chip, right? And it gets stuck in between my tongue. And it gets stuck in between the two halves. And you're trying to get it out. And you wiggle your tongues about. And it just doesn't come out. And it's horrible. Oh my goodness. But, yeah, that's literally the only con about having a tongue split, period. Doesn't affect my eating habits, really, to be honest. Sometimes I do get a hair stuck in between it, too. You know, if you get a hair stuck in your mouth, you know, that feeling, that feeling. Yeah, that happens to me, too, except it gets stuck in between my two halves, and it's horrible. It's just as bad as a potato chip. I still eat potato chips just in the same frequency as beforehand, though. I mean, it's never been like an everyday snack for me, but you know, when I eat them, and it doesn't happen every time I eat them. It's crazy. Anyway, moving on. Leaving the potato chips. Do you have an increase of saliva? Now, while it was healing, yes, I did have an increase of saliva. Post-healing, absolutely not. It's just like having my normal tongue in my mouth. It's, you know, it's your tongue. It doesn't really do anything different. And then, how painful was getting it done, and what was recovery like? This is a long-winded answer. So, when I had the procedure done, I had not yet had my daughter. And it hurt. It hurt bad. I mean, Jesus Christ, it was bad. But you know what? Then I had my daughter. And in comparison, that was a cakewalk. So, childbirth is less painful than having your tongue split. We'll put it that way. What method did you use to get your tongue split done? Now, the person who brought up this question also brought up the surgical versus fishing line. I'm just going to put it out there. If you go with having your tongue split via fishing line, you are a fucking idiot. Because what that does, it increases your chance for infection. It is not going to be a perfect, straight, beautiful line like mine is. It's a bad fucking idea. Another thing is, going into the method that I did actually go with, was a surgical procedure by a licensed body modification artist, not a surgeon. He went in and split it top to tip, or center top to tip, bottom center to tip, and then tip all the way to the back. Cut out all the fleshy bits in the middle. And then he stitched it up on both sides. Now, that, putting the sutures in, makes it this nice rounded shape like this. You can't, it's a constant nice, you can't tell the inside here from the outside over here, right? It's a nice gradient effect there. If you go with fishing wire, you will have a blunt edge on both sides like this, and it's just not pretty. Not only that, but also if you cut that artery in the middle of your tongue, you could literally bleed out and die. So don't fucking do the fishing line method. It's not smart. I'm adamant about that. Go to a professional. Go to someone who has experience. Go to someone who knows what they're doing. It's worth the money. Trust me. God, it is. Don't do it yourself. Don't. Please. I beg you. Moving on. What is the furthest it can be split? Is there a limit? Yes, there is. So you have what is called a frenulum. You have one right here between your lip and your gum, and you have one down here between the bottom of your mouth and the bottom of your tongue. It's right here. You can go back as far as that frenulum. Now, I have also heard of people having that frenulum removed. And when I went in for my procedure, I specifically requested for the frenulum to be removed. However, my artist, bless his heart, told me, you don't want to do that. And I said, well, why not? And he said, because it is more painful than having your tongue split. He told me, if you want to have it resplit and you want to remove the frenulum, we can do that. But I'd prefer to not do that right off the bat. So here I am. He knows what he's talking about. I go with what he says. Thank fucking God I did. Because if I hadn't, having the frenulum removed is more painful than having it split. Oh my God, I do not want to do that. So, therefore, in short, you can go back as far as that frenulum. You will likely have a little bit of regrowth, just like I did. I had about 1/4 inch of regrowth. About to right there. And, you know, you're going to have some regrowth. It happens. But so if I had been unhappy with that regrowth, my body modification artist would have gone back in and probably, because I had specifically requested it the first time, taken out the frenulum and then resplit it. So, another question I had, which it's a little difficult to answer, is if you want to minimize the effect it has on speech, while practicing, I think this word is pronounced elocution, and tongue movement a few weeks beforehand help. To be honest, I'm gonna say no. The reason being, particularly with my method that I went with the surgical scalpel and the sutures, Your tongue is going to swell up. You're going to have sutures in your mouth. There's no way to prepare for that. Like, physically. Mentally, absolutely. Physically, no. You're just straight up not going to be able to understand what that is like and how to prepare for that until you have gone through it. I don't know what else to say there. You're not gonna prepare for it mentally. Take a week off of work. After those sutures come out, you're gonna be fine. It'll take maybe a day, maybe 2, for your speech to go back to normal. And then it'll just be fine. It'll be fine. It took me 5 days to take my sutures out. Another 2 to regain my normal speech. And you know, I had a excuse me. I had a slight lisp. And see, I had that before I had the procedure done, and when I think about it, it comes back. But you're gonna have a little bit of a funny, lispy kind of thing for about a month, anywhere from a week to 4 weeks, really. And mine was straight up like 4 weeks. But also, I was a bartender, and everybody was drunk, and nobody fucking cared. So you're gonna talk a little funny for a little bit. It's just inevitable. And my last question is, how do you feel about resplitting? Mine ended up kind of short. So what this person said, and they included a photo, is they had their tongue split, and it went to about right there, like maybe half the length of mine. And they are, I'm guessing, thinking about having it resplit. And my thoughts there being, and I am not a body modification artist. I am not a licensed professional. But just the brain thoughts in my headspace lead me to think that you are going to have scar tissue there. So if you don't have it numbed, it's going to fucking hurt worse. But if you have it numbed and you go to a licensed professional and they know what they're doing, chances are it probably will not hurt as bad. First of all, because you are not splitting the entire length of your tongue again. You're only splitting just a little bit. Just a little bit. And also on top of that, it is scar tissue. So in the initial procedure of having a piercing re-pierced through scar tissue, it hurts more. Numbing agents will take care of that for you. The healing, in my experience, in having a piercing re-pierced, healing is a breeze. It doesn't hurt as much. There's no raw flesh, I guess you would say. It's just all skin tissue. So I'd hope that you would have the 2 layers of skin tissue right here, and you'd split it apart, and then you'd stitch it back together like that. You know, that's my brain thought space. I don't think it would be as bad as having the initial procedure done. Personally, I would go for it. If I wasn't happy with the length on my tongue split, I would go for it. And, I mean, that's all of my questions. And I'm really happy that I was able to connect with people and have these questions asked to me. It means a lot that anybody would even be interested in me cutting my tongue in half. That's crazy. Also, I got this procedure done, I believe, in December of 2012. It is now 2019, so that is, oh god, 7 years ago? 7 years ago? And it has been one of the best decisions I've ever made for myself. The three top best decisions I've ever made was having my daughter, getting married to the person that I'm married to, and having my tongue split. It's wonderful. I wouldn't change any of that for the whole world. And I thank you for tuning in. And I'm planning on filming another video next weekend, hopefully to be uploaded on Sunday or either Monday. And I will see you then. Oh, wait, stop! One last thing. It's important. There's a little button called the subscribe button, and it would make me really happy if you would hit it for me. Also, as I hear all of the other YouTube creators do, there's also a little button called the notify button, or something to that effect. I am not 100%. Notification button? It's a bell. It's a bell. That's what they say. Hit the bell notification button and hit all, not personalized, because that's garbage. Because I don't get all of the notifications from all of the YouTubers that I'm subscribed from. So, hit all, because I said so.